Advaita Vedanta Chintanam is the key to solving or dissolving our sorrows. Therefore, we must dwell on it, think about it, meditate on it regularly. That is the objective of this text. And for this, we should know the essential teaching coming from the valid means of knowledge. The valid means of knowledge to know Atma, my true self, is Upanishad. And the essence of the Upanishadic teaching is presented as I am Sat Chit Ananda Brahma Swarupa. This Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa Brahma, Atma, is different from Deha, Mana, Buddhi and Ahankara. And therefore, this Viveka should be exercised. The distinction should be known and practiced. So we saw here how there are limitations to these instruments, otherwise known as upadhis, conditionings. And in one of the classes I mentioned that they are anatma because they are drishya, bhautika, saguna, anitya, etc. But we should be able to use them in the right way for our sadhana. We can use body in the right way, mind, intellect and ahankara also. At the same time, remembering that I am not them. So we were seeing those ideas. And this ahankara, when it becomes devotee of Ishvara, Ishasya dasaha, then that ahankara will lead one to liberation in stages. Whereas the same ahankara, when it has lot of karta aham, bhokta aham and atmani puja bhavaha, that I am so great, such ideas, such notions, then that is bandhana karakam. Bandhana karakam means I will suffer, I will have to go through more consequences if I entertain such ideas. But if I understand that let God's will prevail in my life, then everything is wonderful, everything is fine. And the nature of Ishvara is pointed out, we saw yesterday in 19th shloka, the one who is residing in everyone's heart, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, Sarvada Hridi Vartate, page number 78. And how he dwells in everyone's heart as Antaryami Rupena, as the innermost controller. So, innermost controller means the one who always expresses as the subject. Innermost will be the subject. Anything outside of it will be object because it is objectified. It becomes known. Whereas the one who is innermost is always the witness, and therefore it is called controller. niyamaka. Other things become niyamya. Or another way of understanding this is the innermost is always the cause and the outer ones are the effects. Like if you take a cotton cloth, so what is the innermost essence of this cloth? That will be cotton. And why do we call it innermost? Because without which this will cease to exist. So antaryami is in this way, it controls everything from within. So we know, according to this and Bhagavad Gita, that Ishvara controls everything from within. Sarva bhutanam hriddeshe tishtati. But in Upanishad, it is said this antaryami, inner controller, controls everything from within. So he controls earth from within earth. There is one section called Antaryami Brahmana in Brihadaranyaka. And it is said it controls Yat Pruthivyam Tishtan Yo Prithivim Yamayati. Residing in earth, it controls the earth. Residing in air, it controls the air. Residing in waters, it controls the water from within. So one idea is controlling the individual personality, Adhyatma. But he controls Adhibhuta also. The physical world also controls from within there. And the Adhidaiva or the presiding deities are also controlled from within. In other words, this Antaryami is in and through everything, pervades all, controls all. That is called God. Of that God, I have to become dasa, servant, a devotee. To that God, I surrender. So God idea, many times, we feel, what is this God idea? He is sitting somewhere in some palace, seventh heaven. So that is not our real idea. That is one understanding given so that we start at some point. Then we should move on. And if you want to put it technically, then that God alone is the cause of universe. Material cause and efficient cause or intelligent cause. And therefore, that God alone appears as this world. That is God. And I function under the guidance, blessings of that God. I surrender to His will. Then everything is smooth, everything is easy. Because I cannot conceive that God in this form, everywhere present, as inner controller, I need some form. That's why we are given a form. So the real nature of God is this, who is the efficient and material cause, who pervades all, and is giver of the results of my karma. He is karma phala data. This much we should understand. Why we should know He is karma phala data? That means we can say there is no injustice in what I am going through or what anyone is going through. Because yesterday, as we saw, He is omniscient. He knows everything. Because the one who makes decisions about anything should be intelligent only, cannot be inert principle. So that most intelligent, all-knowing, all-pervading, almighty is God. I become devotee of that God. That itself is represented by the word Shiva or Vishnu. The words Shiva or Vishnu means this. And that has to be non-dual alone. And he is well-wisher of all because he is our own self. Why would he think of us in any negative way, any bad way, so that we attain any ill? And in 20th shloka, we had seen yesterday, we read that shloka, that this Paramatma samoyam sarva bhuteshu nishpaksho jalameghavat. I don't know if you saw the thunder and the rain today, but at least in our area it was there. But you know, so when the rain comes, it is nishpaksha. Within that cloud, of course, entire Singapore, the rain may not be there, but wherever it comes, then in that area it is uniform. Like that, the results of karmas of people, in that there is no partiality. There is no raga dvesha towards individual. Nishpaksho jalameghavat tameva sharanam gatva shantim apnoti manavaha. And having gone to surrender to that Lord, the individual attains peace. Shantim apnoti manavaha. So what is this sharanagati? What is this surrender? Here surrender is that I will do all my actions according to the teachings of the Lord, and I will also accept the results of my actions without any complaints. This is the main thing. Who can say I have surrendered? True surrender is that where we accept the outcome without any complaints. So if we can do that, then that is enough. Now, further, this devotee is praying. What is his wish? He says in Shloka 21, Ishwarechatirikta me ma bhuyat kamana kada esha matirhi bhaktasya शरणागतिरिष्यते ईश्वरेच्छातिरिक्ता मे मा भूयात् कामना कदा एषा मतिर्हि भक्तस्य शरणागतिरिष्यते. एषा मतिः, this kind of mati. Which kind of mati? Ishvara ichha atirikta me kamana kadama bhuyat. May I not have any desires other than Ishwar ichha. Ishwar ichha, so one way of understanding is ichha of Ishvara. Ishvarasya ichha, Ishvarecha. So it can mean, may I not have desire for anything other than God. Or may I don't desire anything other than what God would desire for me. That is also called Ishvarecha. Like we say, right, in Hindi many times, जैसी भगवान की इच्छा. तो भगवान की इच्छा means let his will be done, thy will be done and not mine. So that is also Ishvara Ichha. And another meaning of Ishvara Ichha is, may I desire only God. This is Shiva Sankalpa. Same idea. Ishvara atirikta ichha me ma bhuyat. No other desire may I entertain. Esha matihi bhaktasya sharanagatihi ishyate. This is called surrender of a devotee. So, I don't want anything else in life. I want only God. So this bhakta alone in the language of jnanam will be a mumukshu. He says, moksho me bhuyat iti ichha. May I get moksha. So now we have to work on so many other desires because we have so many desires. Right? Our desire is for objects, some pleasures, or we desire that this thing should happen this way, this person should think in the way I think, that person should follow what I think. Is it going to happen? Many times, when young boy and young girl, they come in contact with each other. So before they see each other, they generally have some wonderful idea what I should get in my life, who I should have as my life partner. So they say this person should be this. Some list is there of 10 things, 15 things. He also is carrying one, she also is carrying one. Then they see someone. And the list is there, so they tick 1, 2, 3. Fourth is not there. Fifth is okay. I have to work on this. 6, 7, 8, 9 is not there. 10, 11 to 15 not available. Then they hunt for somebody with more checks. And then they can't get. And they say, okay, I will settle down for this, but I am going to have a project. My first year's project after I get married is make all those crosses into yes, checks. I will change that person. I'll make sure that this other person has all the requirements as I have published in my requirement specification document. And they start working on the other person, not on themselves. In 6 months, they realize this is project impossible. Then they say, forget it, let me work on myself, or if the child comes, I will make sure the child has all the qualifications. Then they work on that for some time. Then the child becomes 15, 16, then they say, okay, this project can be shelved now. Let us work on grandkids now. I am serious. When I was working, other cases but when I was working somewhere in US, and there was my director, very senior director, he found out that I am going to join this monastic order. So he was amazed, and he was also happy in one way. So he invited me to his house. They were running a Bible study group. His wife was very religious. So he invited me and he said, you come, we'll have a chat. Means like he was not, he was more corporate world and this and that, but his wife was into all these things. So I went, and they were discussing, because we have our ideas, we can interject in any discussion, anytime, give example, and they felt, oh, he already knows all these things, why he has to go? Then he said, what you are doing is so great. He was probably almost 67, 68 at that time. He said, I had 4 sons. I thought at least one of them will become priest in Christian tradition. None of them wanted to do. Now I have my eyes on this Michael, his grandchild. At least he will do this. So even someone who is highly accomplished in Fortune 50 companies, his desire is that I should have done, or my child should have done, or at least my grandchild will do. His desire is so strong. That is when you realize that not only people of our Indian origin, anyone is fundamentally, if they are viveki, if they have viveka, and if they have seen enough of world, they have realized that after all this, you need something else only. In fact, they have seen more, because corporate means constant politics is there, everyone trying to pull each other's legs. Nobody will let anyone sit down also. You all know what happens. And then family is there, body, they all give their pains. So we never are in any situation where we are totally having control over it. So Sharanagati is this, that I understand that our hands are tied. With wisdom we surrender. This is the desire of a bhakta. In the earlier phase of life, we think, oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can change so many things. Then we realize it is not true. Somewhere I heard, Bhagavan Sri Krishna. When parents feel that, oh, our children, they are not listening to us, they said, don't worry, because Bhagavan Sri Krishna also had to face the same thing. He had so many children. You know how many wives he had? How many? 16,108 wives. And with each he had 10 sons and 1 daughter. That is how it is said. 10 sons. So how many? Too many. Let's forget the count. But many of them, they just wanted to do whatever they wanted to do. So if this is what happens, parents now, please don't worry. If your children don't listen to you, or for us they say, for Guru, if the disciples don't listen to you, don't be bothered. Because for Bhagavan Sri Krishna also it was the same case. But the student or devotee, he should surrender to Bhagavan. Okay, now next few shlokas from 22 to 26, they are the teachings. The teaching of Vedanta. So this we should dwell on regularly. Earlier part also we have seen. How I am different from body, mind, senses, prana, intellect and ahankara. Brahmana sarva bhutani pratibhanti sthitani cha tasminneva layam yanti sarva vedanta nishchayah. Brahmana sarva bhutani pratibhanti sthitani cha tasminneva layam yanti sarva vedanta nishchayah. Brahmana sarva bhutani pratibhanti sthitani cha. This is invocation from Yoga Vasishta. Yatas sarvani bhutani pratibhanti sthitani cha yasminneva layam yanti tasmai satyatmane namaha. That invocation of Yoga Vasishta alone is presented here. Brahman is the utpatti sthiti laya karanam. It is the cause of creation, sustenance and dissolution. Brahmanaha, from Brahman, fifth case. Sarva bhutani pratibhanti sthitani cha. They all appear from Brahman. Means they really are not there, but they are only appearing. Like how the waves, not having their independent existence, they appear in ocean. Sarva bhutani, all beings, means all things, all names and forms appear in Brahman. From Brahman is to indicate that it is the material cause. If you say in Brahman, means Brahman is the locus, adhishthanam, substratum. So everything appears in Brahman. Now we don't see everything appearing in Brahman. Our thinking is everything is matter. Everything arises from matter. Everything is sustained by matter and goes back to matter. So I have to do this chintanam. Brahman or consciousness, non-changing consciousness, in that one ripple is called Swami Bodhatmananda. It is arising. In this way we should meditate. Why we have to use our example? Because it doesn't matter to think about others. I am the one who is constantly with myself. So I have to negate this individuality. Whose problems matter to me most? I say this entity's problems. Therefore, I have to rise above the sorrows of this entity. So what is this entity? It is said it is an appearance, pratibhanti. In Brahman, which is the changeless, eternal consciousness. And this ripple, this wave is sustained by that truth alone. That truth I am, not this ripple. I am not the wave, I am the ocean in which many waves come and go. This is Vedanta Chintana. Tasmin eva layam yanti. And in me alone the whole universe is going to merge. And if you want to keep universe aside, you think this way. Yesterday we discussed this point, ahankara, right? I and Swami Bodhatmananda. There are two entities. So in me, this ahankara called Swami arises, stays and goes. In me. That me is Brahman. Ahamayam kuto bhavati chinvatah aipatatyaham nija vicharanam ahaminashabhajahamaham taya suratirat swayam paramapurna sat. So this aham is arising in Atma. This aham will go away. This should be our chintanam if we are serious mumukshus. We are, Saturday night if we are doing this, definitely we are serious. We are not going for some party and this and that. But every now and then we have to increase our commitment. And with grace of God, grace of Guru Parampara, they will push us forward. In fact, grace of all the people around also. Some will push me forward with encouragement. Some will give me vairagya. True or not? Yes, they will teach me. World teaches so many lessons. So then I will move forward only. As long as I have understood the real solution, if it has to come from anywhere, it will come from here only. If this much is clear, I cannot go wrong. If I think the solution will come from the world, keep trying. This is Sarva Vedanta Nishchaya. This is the firm conclusion, teaching of all Upanishads, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta. Vedanta is very clear. If you can get happiness from Anatma, Vedanta says, I am ready to lose everything. I can bet on it. Anatma cannot give Sukham because it is not there. This is Vedanta Nishchaya. Sukham and Shanti, these two words you remember. Peace and happiness. Because sometimes we are looking for happiness, sometimes we understand the word peace more. I want Shanti. Ashantam. Vedanta says that you will get only in Atma. Sarva Vedanta Nishchaya. So these are all capsules, Vedantic capsules. Okay, so now you have said everything is Brahman. Because everything arises in Brahman, everything is sustained by Brahman, everything goes back to Brahman. Therefore, Brahman alone is everything. Like if I say, this cup arises in silver, is sustained by silver, goes back to silver. So, silver is the cause. Then as long as silver is there, cup will remain. You remove silver, our Gurudev's logic of spirituality, he has given the laws. So, second one I think he says, third one, from the effect. If you remove the cause, nothing Like that he says, right? So this is an effect and cause is silver. If you remove silver, then there is nothing here. That means this is nothing but cause itself, silver. Cause appearing in different form. Effect is nothing but cause appearing in different form. That is one of them. So this is Brahman, from where the whole universe arises. This much I have understood. Where should I go and hunt for Brahman? So in the next sloka it is said, where Mr. Brahman is available. Atmarupena tad Brahma Sarvabhuta Hridi Sthitam Gudha Bhavosya Shastrasya Jnatavyascha Mumukshubhihi Atmarupena tad Brahma Sarvabhuta Hridi Sthitam Gudha Bhavosya Shastrasya Jnatavyascha Mumukshubhihi Atmarupena tad Brahma Sarvabhuta Hridi Sthitam. Tad Brahma, that Brahman, Sarvabhuta Hridi Sthitam, is residing in everyone's heart. Earlier you said Ishvara is residing in everyone's heart. Now you are saying Brahman is residing in everyone's heart. So how many things are there in my heart? I really need to go to a cardiologist and figure out what all things are there. So Ishvara in the Nirguna Swarupa is Brahma. And Brahma in Saguna Swarupa is Ishvara. And that Brahma is available to me as Atmarupena. Atmarupena means as my own self. My own self. Not as Ahankara, not as an individual, as the real I. So all we need to do is shift our attention to that, because we are already that. We don't need to do anything else. That's why it is said, Asya shastrasya gudha bhavaha mumukshubhihi jnatavyah. Or you can do it this way, Asya shastrasya cha gudha bhavaha mumukshubhihi jnatavyah. Asya, of this Brahman, and also of scriptures, the secret. Gudha bhavaha means the secret. This is the secret. What? The truth is myself and is available as I. A seeker of moksha should know this, should desire to know this, must know this. Jnatavyah. So if I am interested in moksha, this is what I should know. If somebody says, I am not interested in moksha, all this moksha and all is too much. You say, don't worry, you need not know this. Just become devotee of God. But if you see that there are problems, old age, disease, death, union, separation, union with people that we don't like, separation with people that we love, all this is what? Sorrow giving. And things happen not according to our wish. So then when such things happen, say, I don't know whether things are going my way, and then I am very upset. So then only that person says, I want to be free from this. Because otherwise I am always a victim of situation. My favorite example in this is game of chess. You know game of chess, right? So in chess, there are only two players, you and the opponent. So you make one move, and then you think, if this fellow moves this one, then I will move this. If he moves this, then I'll do this. Then, so 3-4 options you think, and you think, what else can happen? Like, I am that much smart now, So you have all calculations done. But life is not that simple game of chess. It is chess, but with one addition. There are too many players in that chess. You make one move, right? And then you think, my next move will be this. Before your next turn comes, all those 15 or 20 people that are there in your life, everyone has moved something. All your calculations will go wrong. Does it happen or not? You move one piece and you look here and look again, suddenly everything is different. Like those people who are in stock market and all, they are constantly looking at the screen and trading. I say, let me just go for lunch break. You go and come back, what was blue becomes red, what was red becomes blue. Like in American election. And you wonder what happened. So like that, so many things change. It is true. So then you say, forget it. So then only we become serious about moksha. And it is constant battle. On one front, if you think you are winning, somewhere else you think there will be defeat. There, if you put forth effort, here you lose. And this is not to portray negative picture of life. But this is very realistic. Sometimes we may have everything going well and we think, why they are talking about moksha and all? Look at me, how great I am. You wait for some time. So it happens. So this secret one should know that I am the truth, therefore nothing will happen to me, and therefore I should not come under the pressure of sorrow, not get succumbed to it. Otherwise things will keep happening. That is how life is. You look at life of even Mahatmas. You think they don't face any challenges? Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, he had taken sannyasa. And it is said, for a sannyasi, their family ties are all broken. So then they cannot do anything for their family. In particular, the last rites and all, final rites. And his mother died. And there was nobody. So he had to do the final rites. And that the community did not like. He had to face that. And then he had disciples, and those disciples, among them also they had some difference of opinion. So that Gurudev's life also we have seen so many such incidents. So all this keeps happening. How to remain detached from everything, that is the key. And yet, as I said earlier, should be still loving, not become bitter about everything, that the whole thing is so negative, and we become bitter. That should not be the case. So, mumukshubhihi asya brahmanah gudabhavah shastrasya cha jnatavyah. This secret should be known, secret of scripture. So all scriptures that we read, that we study, if we have to understand the most important teaching, most powerful teaching of scripture, it is this. This is the secret. So if I say, I have chanted all shlokas, I have read all stories, I can communicate everything. Did you understand this? This is the secret. If we know this, if we understand this, we have understood everything. So this is the important part. Mumukshubhihi jnatavyah. This should be known by the seeker of liberation, that I am that reality residing in all, sarvabhuta hridisthitam. Now, in the next two shlokas, what is said is, because Brahman is the cause of all, there is no world different from Brahman, and because I am that Brahman, therefore world is not different from me. Two things. Because world is born or rises in Brahman, therefore world is not different from Brahman. And I am not different from that Brahman, therefore I am not different from that Brahman, therefore world is not different from me either. So these 2 points are given in 2 shlokas. Idam jagad vastutascha brahma bhinnam na siddhyati tathaiva chatma bhinnam va brahmatmaikya prabodhanat. Idam jagat vastutascha brahma bhinnam na siddhyati tathaiva chatma bhinnam va brahmatmaikya prabodhanat. Idam jagat vastutascha brahma bhinnam na siddhyati. Idam jagat, this world, vastutaha, in reality, apart from Brahman, Brahma bhinnam na siddhyati. You cannot prove, you cannot establish the existence of this world apart from Brahman, means apart from changeless consciousness. So this is actually all very subtle. and tathaiva cha atma bhinnam va, and also tathaiva jagat atma bhinnam va na siddhyati. You cannot establish the existence of world other than Atma. When Brahma Atma Aikya Prabodhanat, when I understand Brahma Atma Aikya, when that knowledge takes place. So let us do some thinking here. What is said here is, this world has no existence apart from consciousness. Do we ever think of consciousness in our day-to-day life? No. Do we ever think that if consciousness was not there, the world would not exist? No, world is happily going on, all transactions are happening. So what is said here, these people, idam jagat vastutasya brahma bhinnam na siddhyati. So let us keep this aside. Let us think differently. The world that is available to me, does that world exist if I don't exist? If I don't exist, the first person, then the world in the form of second person or third person is never available. Only when I wake up. So up to that point, world is not available. When I am in deep sleep, where is world? There is no world. Then when I wake up. So which world is available? That part of the world is available which is accessed by I. So right now my world is this. Your world is this. So whatever happens here is most relevant to us. If we change the coordinates, go somewhere else, that world will be most relevant to us. This is completely a transactional plane. So there is no world as second person or third person apart from first person. Then I should inquire, what is this first person? First person means I, this fellow. Tad yushmadoho asmadi sampratishtha. Tasmin swamule asmadi mula bodhat. So that third person and this second person depends on I, the first person. Because I is expressing with sentiency, therefore world is available. If I did not have consciousness, world would not be known. Like this mic or the chair or desk or table, they don't know anything. World is known because of consciousness. World is known because of first person. And therefore, this consciousness which is expressing as I, unconditioned, alone first expresses as conditioned consciousness. Then I become aware of the world. Then there is transaction and everything. And if I can understand this I as the primary entity, then what is said here is true then. That Jagat is unreal. without consciousness. Jagat does not exist without consciousness. Idam jagad vastutascha brahma bhinnam na siddhyati. Tathaiva, and also atma bhinnam va. And also this Brahman alone is Atma. Therefore, other than I, there is no world. Brahmatmaikyat bodhanat. When I understand this reality is me myself, then world depends on me alone. So when I say me, means Atma, Chaitanya. In the beginning, I may think that world is experienced because of me, the Ahankara. But when I inquire into nature of Ahankara, then I realize Ahankara is nothing but expression in Atma. Therefore, world is nothing but a dependent entity on Atma. This is how we should understand. Then only we can say all this is nothing but play of consciousness. Now, if consciousness, do you all like this kind of thinking, or this is too boring? Because we can go on, and the acharyas, they have discussed so much on this. But that's why these points become subtle sometimes. And if somebody says, whole day I had busy day, I was working, doing this, that, I came here relaxing, I thought, Swamiji will say something, I'll close my eyes, have a nice nap. When he says Purnamada, I'll wake up. And you start, everything is consciousness, not changing, kutastha. I have not even used some technical terms. But this is the reality. Okay? Brahma Atma Aikya Prabodhana. So I should understand this, that world exists because of me. Now you imagine what is our current thinking. I am existing because of world. And Vedanta says world exists because of you. So we have to change the reference point of who am I. My idea, if it is this body, etc., it will depend on the world. But if my idea is I am consciousness, then world will depend on me. Okay. When I understand this, then what will happen? Aham brahmeti vijnanat. Aham brahmeti vijnanat. Katham me jagato bhayam. Katham me jagato bhayam. Dvitiyadhi bhayam bhuyat. Dvitiyadhi bhayam bhuyat. Sarva Vedanta ghoshitam. Sarva Vedanta ghoshitam. Aham brahmeti vijnanat. Katham me jagato bhayam. Dvitiyadhi bhayam bhuyat. Sarva Vedanta ghoshitam. When I get this knowledge that I am Brahma, means I am the truth, I am the reality, I am infinite consciousness. Aham brahmeti vijnanat katham me jagato bhayam. Then where do I have fear from the world? I am fearless. So the key to fearlessness is I should know that I am Brahman. Katham me jagato bhayam. Why? It is said, Dvitiyadhi bhayam bhuyat. Sarva Vedanta Ghoshitam, all the Vedanta Shastras, Upanishads, they say, fear is there when there is otherness. There is no otherness. Dvitiyad hi bhayam bhuyat. So the fear is because of some otherness. When I understand I am Brahman, Brahman is the cause of universe, therefore nothing is different from Brahman, therefore nothing is different from me, then where is fear? Correct. There is no fear. When there is otherness, then there is fear. Dvitiyadhi bhayam bhavati. Otherness creates. So otherness means when I see someone and I think this person is very different, this person I don't know is going to think differently, act differently, do different things, then I have fear. But if I think, oh, this person is my own expression, then there is no fear. Parents are not afraid of their children as long as they understand that they are going to think and act like them. But when things go different, then there is fear. I don't know how they are thinking, I don't know what they will do, etc. So otherness is the cause of fear. Like if you are in some house alone, everything is dark, then in the night you hear somebody trying to open the door. Now you are afraid. You get the biggest stick in your hand, hide there, you are ready. Slowly the door opens. Somebody enters in. Take the stick and hit on that person's head and they say, "Oh, mom!" And your own child is there. "Oh, beta, what happened?" So the fear is there only as long as you thought he is somebody else. He is your own teenager expression, who was angel in the beginning. Now he has entered, so you say, okay, now there is nothing to fear. Turn on the light. What is this? What are you doing at this time? I had gone out with my friends, this, that, something they will tell, some story. No fear. So otherness, when this fear is there, our mind is racing. This will happen, that will happen, this, that, go on, thinking. We are not calm. More I am discussing about otherness with person, but it can be with anything. But when that goes down, everything is simple. So that otherness is the cause of fear, this we should understand. And that's why we should try to remove such ideas if mentally we are entertaining. Pandavas and Kauravas, when they were ready to fight with each other, all the efforts that were brought in to bring them together, the main idea of that effort was to show oneness in them. And that oneness was that you both belong to same dynasty, same grandparents. Therefore, don't fight. Yudhishthira understood this. Duryodhana did not. That's why Mahabharata took place. Same thing between India and Pakistan also. If we understand that actually it was one, you go to map prior to 47. This is one country. But if we cannot see that, conflicts will continue. So otherness is the cause of fear. You can give other examples also. In traditional old families, the mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, the otherness is there, conflict will be there. Otherness is not there, conflict is not there. Now those examples don't work because they never live together. They see each other once in a while. So they are actually very loving. Only when they have to live together, then they realize. Dvitiyad hi bhayam bhuyat sarva Vedanta ghoshitam. This is the declaration of all the Vedantic scriptures, that wherever there is reality given to duality, then we will have fear. Fear means fear is only one thing, but we have to understand fear, hatred, jealousy, dislike, all other vices. Everything is there when there is duality. Therefore, to remove this kind of duality, I should work. I should think in that direction. And it is said, the knower of such truth, in Upanishad it is said, he will not be afraid of anyone, anything. That is said in 26th shloka. Anandam brahmano vidwan na bibheti kutaschana brahma vichyapi bhavati brahmaiva nahi samshayah Anandam brahmano vidwan na bibheti kutaschana brahma vichyapi bhavati brahmaiva nahi samshayah. So, two quotations are given, both from Taittiriya Upanishad. Anandam brahmano vidwan na bibheti kutaschaneti etagam havavana tapati kimahagam sadhuna karavam kimaham papam karavamiti saya evam vidvanete atmanaggas pranute. So this quotation is from Taittiriya Upanishad. Anandam brahmano vidwan, that knower of Ananda Swarupa Brahma, Anandam brahmano vidwan na vibheti kutaschana. He is never ever afraid of anyone. So there are two quotations actually in Taittiriya. One quotation is na vibheti kadachana, at any time. And the second quotation is this, na vibheti kutaschana, from anyone. He is not afraid of anyone, he is not afraid at any time, like that. This is fearlessness. Why? Because the knower of Brahman is Brahman. That is the second quotation, Brahmavid chapi bhavati brahmaiva. That is from Mundakopanishad. The second quotation is from Mundakopanishad, which says, Sayoha vai tat paramam brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati. So the knower of Brahman is not knower, is Brahman himself. Knower of Brahman is not knower, is Brahman. See, if I know a pot, I don't become pot. If I know desk, I don't become desk. If I know donkey, thank God, I don't become donkey. But if I know Brahman, I understand I am Brahman. So it is not knowing Brahman as a pot or a desk or some other entity. Knowing Brahman as myself. Then such an individual is not afraid of anything, anyone at any time. Na bibheti kadachana, na bibheti kutaschana. Brahmaviccha api bhavati brahma eva nahi samshaya. There is no doubt about it. There is no doubt about Brahman attaining, the knower attaining Brahman. Attaining means he knows that I was ever Brahman. I thought I am this person. Then this person has people, relations, etc. Then situations. Then I go through so many of those things. When I understand I was ever Brahman, I shall ever remain Brahman, then he is fearless. So, as a student, as a seeker, we should understand either I am ever Brahman or I am never Brahman. It's a simple sutra, but very helpful. Either I am ever Brahman or I am never Brahman. So which one you want? Ever? Actually, there is no choice. That is the other part. In my ignorance, I may think, no, I am not Brahman. I have some issues going on at home. Still you are a Brahman. My back is hurting. How can I be Brahman? You are ever Brahman. So, there is no doubt about it. Nahi samshaya. Okay. Now, teaching is complete. So, 2 shlokas are there. 2 shlokas, they are going to present the gain of this teaching and offering of this teaching to Guru and Ishtadevata. Simple shlokas are there. Let us see shloka 27. Evam Vedanta Jnanasya Nityam Abhyasa Yogatah Shreyah Paramavapnoti Sarvabhavena Sadhakah. Evam Vedanta Jnanasya Nityam Abhyasa Yogatah Shreyah Paramavapnoti Sarvabhavena Sadhakah. Evam, in this way. In this way means in which way? Starting from shloka number 2, after the invocation, whatever is said from beginning, evam, in this way, Vedanta Jnanasya Nityam Abhyas Yogatah Sadhakah. This sadhaka, a seeker, when he practices this teaching regularly, repeatedly, dwells on this, nityam abhyasa yogatah Vedanta jnanasya abhyasa. Practice of this knowledge of Vedanta. Any knowledge will not do. You have to have this knowledge. Nityam abhyasa yogatah, when he does this regular study, dwells on this, then sarvabhavena param shreyah avapnoti. Sarvabhavena can go with nityam abhyasa yogatah also. Sarvabhavena nityam abhyasa yogatah. And sarvabhavena shreya param avapnoti. Both ways you can take. Wholeheartedly I have to put forth effort. Total. Just as for worldly success, how we give our tan, man, dhan, like that for this also we have to do tan, man, dhan, everything. Sarvabhavena. Then param shreya sarvabhavena avapnoti. Sarvabhavena shreya. Then all inclusive prosperity he shall attain. In other words, he will have everything going well. Everything going well means not that everything will happen only according to his will, but he will not have any complaints against what is happening. He will be okay with everything. Sarvabhavena. Shreya. Shreya means supreme good. Uncompromised good he will get. Param Shreya. Nishreyasa. Now, one point we can think here is Nityam Abhyas Yogata. What is this Nityam Abhyas Yoga? So, Nityam Abhyas is regular Shravanam of scriptures. And that Shravanam should become like how we study in school. When you go to school, if you start your school, which standard you go to first? Kindergarten. Then you go to first standard, then second standard, then third standard. You don't say, I will study first 7th standard, then let me finish 11th standard, then I will do kindergarten. So that study should be in a proper format. So, because we have some time and whatever that is available, so we say, yes, I will study whatever comes to me. But then I should be capable of putting all the ideas properly in my head. I told you in one of the earlier days, every statement is like a puzzle, piece of puzzle. And then it becomes a whole picture at the end of class. Then I take the whole thing and the whole text is also a big puzzle. So I start putting everything, and once it is clear, then I say, yes, this is right. Then I move forward. So we should be able to do that. This is Nityam. So one is regularly I should study, then I should be able to put things properly, pieces of puzzle. That means I should be able to think on it. If somebody comes and says, you are saying that study of Vedanta will remove all sorrows. You have been studying for how many years? Say, I have been studying for 15 years. Have all your sorrows gone? When somebody looks in our eyes and asks that question, see, that's what I was telling you. It will not happen. That's why let's go to restaurant, eat something nice, party a little bit, and then just sleep. What is there? Why you are wasting your time? Anyway, it is not going to happen. You studied for 15 years and nothing happened. I didn't study and nothing happened. And in particular, if husband and wife, one of them is attending sessions and the other is not, they are waiting for this opportunity to hit this dialogue. See, I was telling you. Nityam Abhyasa is slowly things become clear. Vedanta is very clear. I don't have clarity. So it takes time for me to clearly understand that I was ever free. Nitya Abhyasa is for this. And then we have our what we call Purva Samskaras, because of which we get carried away. So, this new understanding we have to strengthen. For that, Nityam Abhyasa Yogataha, due to that, Param Shreyaha Avapnoti Sadhakaha. This sadhaka attains the supreme truth. And now the last shloka is a dedication. So Phalashruti is given in 27 and the dedication is there in 28 now. Shri Ramachandrasya Kripa Prasadat Vedanta Chintana Parakritirya Samarpayetam Padaravindayoh Bhuyat Prasanna Shri Ramo Guruscha Shri Ramachandrasya Kripa Prasadat Vedanta Chintana Parakritirya Samarpayetam Padaravindayoh Bhuyat Prasanna Shri Ramo Guruscha. This composition, what is the name of the text that we are studying? Otherwise, at the end, what did I study? 4 days I was going to Swamiji's classes. Neither I remember Swamiji's name nor the text. I think last day food was good. That is all I understand. That is the conclusion of the whole teaching. Vedanta Chintana is the text. Vedanta Chintana Parakritihi Ya. Ya is the subject. So, Ya Parakritihi, the supreme composition or composition on supreme, called Vedanta Chintana. Yasya Shri Ramachandrasya Kripa Prasadat Bhavita, you have to supply that which came into composition, came into being by the grace of Bhagavan Shri Rama. Shri Ramachandrasya Yasya Prasadat Kripa Prasadat Bhavita Tam Shri Ramachandrasya Padarvindayoho Samarpaye. May I offer this at the feet of Bhagavan Shri Rama, lotus feet of Shri Rama, Padarvinda. Aravinda means lotus. Pada Aravindayoho, to the two lotus feet of Bhagavan, I offer. Samarpaye. And may Lord Rama, Shri Rama and Guruscha, may Guru, Puja Gurudev and all Gurus, Prasanna Bhuyat, may they be pleased with this dedication, with this offering. Does this shloka remind you of any other shloka? Yes, which shloka? Which shloka? Good. You know, Upanishad Ganga, the concluding shloka comes, because you had Jnana Yajna on Upanishad Ganga, right? Yasya prasadat, right? That is how. Now you made me also forget this shloka. Some other shloka is coming to my mind. Yasya prasadat bhavamangalartha prasuta gangopanishad prasuta prastuta gangopanishad prasuta samarpayamo guruchinmayaya bhuyat prasanna shivaswarupa. So very similar words are there. We offer that Upanishad Ganga, by whose grace we got that, we offer it to Puja Gurudev, teacher. Here it is said, I offer this Vedanta Chintana to Bhagavan Sri Rama, by whose grace the whole composition we started, and therefore may we end also with this. Sri Ramo Guruscha, may they be pleased. So with this, our study is complete. We will just chant the invocation shloka together. Every day you were chanting it before I came, so I did not chant it separately. Together, page number 7. Shri Ramaya Namastubhyam Kripaya Tava Shakyate Sukhena Vyasitum Labdham Jnanam Dainika Jivane. So, we completed the teaching of Vedanta Chintana by Bhagavan Ramchandraji's grace and blessings. Now, one question I am going to clarify. This question is, what is introspection? Because here Gurudev's quotation is given, introspect daily, negate ruthlessly, substitute wisely, grow steadily. So this is the quotation. So what is meant by introspection? Introspect daily. So generally we know introspection means look within, see where I stand. So first I will give simple meaning. Introspect daily. Watch yourself daily, then negate ruthlessly. So what do I have to negate? What I am not, that I have to negate. Ruthlessly means don't be afraid. Don't develop soft bondage and attachment in this negation. Then substitute wisely. With wisdom, with knowledge, whatever I have learned about myself or about the nature of world, that I should bring in. This is called substitution. So my earlier ideas were some ideas and the new ideas are different. Like my earlier idea was, this is a cup. New idea is, this is silver. In this way. So from effect, try to shift the attention to cause. Outside also and for oneself also. So if I constantly think I am Swami, male, human being with limitations, the sorrows are bound to come. Then I say, I have studied all Prasthanatraya, Bhashya with Tika and so many things. What is the use? Because I am not able to eliminate my own sorrow. So, substitute wisely and grow steadily. So, this is actually Nididhyasana or Chintana word, what is given here is Nididhyasana. Go on replacing erroneous ideas from our thinking. What I have understood, otherwise, Vedanta comes and corrects it. So I go on using that new knowledge now. So introspection is at the level of I. And then with respect to I, the relations will come. Aham, then mama, I and mine. So in the I, this is what I say, I correction. I correction does not mean EYE, I correction. This is I correction. So we don't need to go to ophthalmologist. We have to come to Vedantin for I correction. And my I idea is that I am individual. And Vedanta says I am Brahma. So this I correction I have to keep doing through introspection. So if I suffer, I ask myself, why am I suffering? You say, I am suffering because somebody said something to me. Very good. Somebody said something to whom? To this fellow, individual. Then you negate ruthlessly. I am not this. Mano buddhya ahankara chittani naham. This is negation. Then substitute wisely. Chidananda rupa shivoham shivoham. This is substitution. Then grow. So earlier, if I had too many problems in one day, then I will have fewer problems, then fewer problems. This is growth. Am I growing or not? How will I know? Ask your spouse. They never have any positive thing to say about me. No, I am just joking. You don't need to ask anyone. You yourself will know. One of the biggest signs is that you continue to pursue this path. Otherwise, we would have dropped out. See here, this is working. Last time it took me few days to come out from my problems, sorrows. Now it was instantaneous. Yes. I am becoming stronger, wiser in this way. Okay. With this, our Jnana Yajna is complete. We dedicate this to our Puja Gurudev and Puja Guruji. So as they mentioned in the introduction also, I was not planning and supposed to stop by at Singapore. I was on my way to US, but I stopped by here. I thought I will come and take break. And they say, why, if Swamiji you are here, why don't we have talks also and satsang and everything? But I enjoyed. I love Vedanta. Because all else we have to do. This is all we do all the time. Anyway, so tomorrow morning I go from here. We will conclude and then there are some announcements. I will just mention it to you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम। श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। I want to thank the hosts, Usha ji and Anand ji. They asked me that, Swamiji, if you are going, please stop by here. So, you know how it is. A host family has to run here or there with the Acharya, but thank you. And now they are going to have classes here. One of the class is on Sadhana Panchakam that Usha ji is going to start every Monday at 10 o'clock here itself, starting from November 21st, within a week or so. And then other classes Anand ji has already started, and then some things I also mentioned today at the Balvihar assembly, the celebrations. So those who all can participate, you spread the word. See, those who are interested, they all will come. The farmer's job is to throw seeds in the ground. You go on doing it. Then whichever seed gets the right soil, water, light, it's going to pick up. Okay. In Mumbai, I am going to conduct a Vedanta course, but before that, there is going to be a camp, 2 weeks camp. So if you are around there that time, or if you would like to come, it is going to be from July 9th to 23rd. July 9th is Guru Purnima. So we thought we'll start on that auspicious day. A lot of people would want to be there. July 9th through 23rd, and the topic is Naishkarmya Siddhi Part 1, a very advanced text. But basics also will be covered, like every text can be taken at any level. So those who are interested, it will be 2 weeks residential camp. Announcements will come in Tapon Prasad and all, but you can sign up if you are interested. Okay. Any other announcements? Mike. This I can turn.